I'm Wendy.
And I'm Steve.
We had been dating 7 years, and we decided that it was something that we should do something about.
You know, having coming out of a relationship before and having kids, it was just bringing all of that dynamics together and saying, you know, this is our next journey.
Before we came together and took this course, I had some very serious concerns. Steve had a family. He had an ever-present ex-wife. There were things that just didn't sit well with me, but I came to appreciate those things in the end because of the counseling that we got. But it was certainly a stumbling point to me. I could never have married him with the thoughts that I had. Through the counseling, I was able to work through those and see them in a different light.
Really, for me, there was love there. You know, I really appreciated everything that Wendy gives and was caring. But before we really went to the counseling, there was always that little piece that kind of hung out there of, you know, is she nagging me? Is when she's talking about my ex-wife or my kids, or, you know, was it looking at my past and was I not dealing with it? Yeah. Starting to say before I went there, you know, I really struggled with that. I really struggled with how I was going to deal with my past and anything that I might have been pouring into my son or my daughters as a result of the hurt from the past relationship needed to be dealt with. I couldn't just put it on the side and have a relationship, but then keep my past life a separate entity and needed to bring them together. So that's what it did, is bring us get through those challenges, look at the past, address it, and then bring us to the next level.
Definitely. Before we started counseling, I think as a couple we felt overwhelmed. We had been tackling issues ourselves, and that didn't work. We needed an outside view of those issues in order to get through them. So we prayed, we did everything, but Greg and Julie were able to pinpoint what we were not doing wrong, but we were facing them ineffectively.
Yeah.
So that's
and I'll add on that, because from a guy's perspective, to admit that word overwhelmed, right, is not an easy one. So I can sit here that through that say that it's probably a good summation of where we were starting, is that overwhelmed was the right word, because to me, it I didn't want to admit it, but by going through this process, it forced me to face those and really say, okay, yeah, there is some overwhelming parts of it. There is some stuff of when you're making a major commitment and being with someone for your life, you have to face that and take that challenge on to go to the next level and really be together. To me, you know, I just think that the no nonsense is what helped me gravitate towards Greg, right? Is that it was kind of roll up the sleeves, let's get in, let's get dirty, and let's, you know, anything that you have, any baggage that you're coming to this with, anything that you want to resolve, let's get it out on the table now.
And that didn't say that there wasn't the softer side of Julie. And Greg's matter-of-fact approach it's like a yin and yang. They're awesome. I felt so at home with them. They shared so much of themselves, and it seemed like it was a been there, done that, and they could relate to what I had to say and relate to how I felt through that process. So it was very easy to share each of our journeys with them.
And ditto to that. I mean, to me, it just, even as a guy, you know, where you sometimes will carry that inside and want to hold it back, really just felt natural with both of them to actually open up and really just come out with everything that was out, you know, might have been buried, but needed to come out. And it just felt natural. We got married. You know, this is all premarital. So for us, it really was the fact that we got to, you know, experience each other, you know, raw, you know, kind of no bounds, and really just put it out on the table and then just say, we're ready. To the fact where Julie's the one that married us. So, you know, we were so enamored with them and so personally connected that it really did give us that next step to get married.
I had so many questions in my mind, and they gave me the clear decision that that's what we wanted to do and that's what we were supposed to do. And it was just a lot off my mind, because this is for life. This is not something that you just take casually, hey, I'll get a divorce, but this is something that, you know, lasts forever. We got to know that it was hard work. And it's not just, hey, we're getting married, everything's going to be roses now. So their videos and their books and everything, it's an ongoing process. And we realize that we're going to have to work at it. But it's been so much better than we anticipated. And it's everything that they put out for us, the videos, the continuing education, it's so important. And it's really been such a blessing for us.
And I think how it helped us was it gives us that, even if we're going through a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, gives us that opportunity to have a sounding board, somewhere to go to and really just kind of resonate. What is it we need to work on now? You know, what are we failing to remember to actually take us to the next level, to continue to keep the bond and the relationship at its height.
Exactly.
At its height. And I think that's, to me, what really is the continued part of it. I'll be candid and straightforward. I mean, you know, what's the cost of not doing it? You know, having been through a relationship and having that fail after lots of years, what's the cost of not doing it? So the investment is well worth it for me to say that if this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, how would I not make that investment? Is kind of a different way I would ask that.
And for me, it was the fact that it was faith-based. I'm not going to get that everywhere. And for them to have that Bible-based teaching, there was no other option for me. So that's what made it for me. And like he said, this is priceless. Listen, we took 7 years and we still couldn't make a decision. But it was through that course that identified issues that we wouldn't have tackled if we didn't. And that has proved priceless in the long run.
For me, it's really kind of looking at it, taking price aside and just saying that if this is the woman that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, how would I want to not know the best side of her and really get to know what we have to do to be the best in each other and build on that. That it is no nonsense. It's let's just roll up the sleeves and really get to it. You know, this is important. This is the most important thing in your life, to have that relationship, to have that family, to have that bond. And to me, it's just let's take it serious. This is not something that you can take lightly.
Definitely. And I think for me, it was their perception. They just identified the issues. We had a counseling session and they were like, here, here, and here. And it was great. We didn't see that coming. And it was awesome. They just picked right up on it.
And I'll build on that because the counter was really that Julie is the softer side, right? She's the one that really will touch on you. So what Greg's ready to pull you in and get right to it, Julie's willing to sort of get right to the heart of it, you know, in a different way. And it really, they both balance each other. And I think their real life experience, the way that they actually break it down from their past experience or their past life experience, the things that they've gone through in their relationships, and then take that and say, this is how it applied to us. Can you guys see the relevance to your relationship? Through
this, I came to appreciate my husband as an amazing leader, an amazing person, but a man I can love for the rest of my life and appreciate so many of the qualities that I overlooked before this. Because just...
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome. He is more amazing than even when we were dating, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with him, learning and growing and being closer and opening the communication more and just doing all the cool things that we've learned.
Gotta kiss you on that one.